This is Terrance of Terrance Hill TV. I want to thank you so much for tuning into this episode of Terrance Hill TV, presented to you by WTV over the digital airways of YouTube. Yes, WTV, Epic, Elevate the Vision. Let's do it.
Well, I hope you are ready for Epic Elevation, WETV.
Say no more, go get the bag, go get the cake, go get the cheese, and say no more. Say no more, say no more. Say no more. What's going on, y'all? This is Terrance. I'm going to welcome you to another edition of Terrance Hill TV, presented to you by WTV over the digital airways of YouTube. Today, we're here to react to the passing of WWF legend Hulk Hogan. I know they go by WWE now, but I was raised on WWF. We're here to react to his passing. Before we get into the reaction, talking about Hulk Hogan's passing, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button. Hit that notification bell as well to be notified whenever new content is uploaded. Check out some other videos that I've dropped. Check out the community section as well. And also check out our product section where you can order some merch. Long day, man. It's been a long day. I had a couple of appointments going on today. I was debating even getting on the mic because I had a dental appointment today, so I'm a little sore. But obviously, you know, this is a big part of my childhood. I was a huge wrestling fan growing up as a kid. This is an old VHS tape. I have to find it, but I was actually in a WW. What was it? Hold on, that was WCW. I was in a WCW event as a kid, so I have to find that and upload it one day. But yeah, I was dancing with Too Cold Scorpio back in the day, and it's kind of embarrassing to find that tape. But yeah, but nevertheless, I was a part of that. And so always been a huge wrestling fan. Now, Hulk Hogan was not my favorite wrestler growing up, although I mean, he's Hulk Hogan, so obviously I definitely respected him, and I'm a huge Sylvester Stallone fan, the whole Rocky series, and having Hulk Hogan be a part of part 3 was like monumental. So obviously, Hulk Hogan definitely was the face of wrestling, even though he wasn't my favorite wrestler, but he was definitely the face of it. Now, he was at odds with two of my favorite wrestlers. My two favorite wrestlers growing up as a kid were Bret Hart, because he was always there and very more consistent than my second favorite wrestler, who was kind of in and out of the business, which was the Ultimate Warrior. And Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan have had a very strained relationship over the years. And even when Warrior wasn't wrestling anymore, man, he made a vicious video with some like very inflammatory things to say about Hogan. However, he was basically responding to some things as well that they were saying about him. And then I have this DVD, it's somewhere down here in my collection, but the WWF put out this put out this DVD called The Self-Destruction of the Ultimate Warrior. And I'm talking about they just had nothing nice at all to say about the Ultimate Warrior at all. And then when Ultimate Warrior got inducted to the WWE Hall of Fame, the story is him and Hogan, they were able to kind of squash some of that stuff. But yeah, their, relationship was very strained. Even Bret Hart has had some things to say. I mean, if you just watch like a lot of YouTube videos and hear the stuff that wrestlers have to say about other wrestlers, it's pretty vicious, man. Like, there's a lot of stories out there about what happened with this. You got Bret Hart still talking about the Toronto thing with Shawn Michaels. And I mean, it's like a never-ending thing that, people talking about stuff that happened within the business. And I'm bringing all that up to say, and I'm not trying to make poo-poo on the passing of Hulk Hogan, but I don't think it's like responsible to not talk about some of these things because they did happen. If I'm not mistaken, Hulk Hogan, one of his last appearances, he was booed appearing on wrestling. So obviously, some things that he said and done over the years, you have a lot of people feel a certain way about it. Now, let me ask this question. I want to put this out there because I'm a huge NBA fan. Okay, so you have a lot of people like Kyrie Irving and Shaquille O'Neal, and a lot of people they're taking up for Kobe right now because I guess some people may feel a certain way about Kobe. We know he's not here, so you have a lot of people saying that, they're not talking about Kobe in the right way. He's not here. But let me ask this question to you. If you don't like someone when they were living, wouldn't it be fake? And I'm not saying this because I don't necessarily I hate Hulk Hogan. That's not the point I'm making at all. I'm just asking a question. If you don't like someone or you don't agree with something that someone did, or you think that someone did some real shady stuff while they were living, wouldn't it be like fake to like pretend just because they're not here anymore, like they meant the world to you? Why not be consistent on how you feel? And I feel that way. Like I feel if I pass away, that certain people that didn't mess with me when I was living, there's no point in them showing up to my funeral. There's no point in them pretending like I meant something to them when it wasn't that way while I was living, right? And I just think that, and me personally, Tom Brady and Kobe Bryant, I didn't like those guys for a really long time. Okay, I came around to like Kobe a lot later on in his career, probably like towards the last maybe 6, 7 years that he played. Okay. I've come to really respect Tom Brady. I didn't like that guy at all. I had a lot of smoke for New England and I felt like they cheated. I felt a certain way about certain things until me and my dad, rest in peace, went to, because I'm a Vikings fan, we went to a game and I got to see Tom Brady in person. And I was like, dang, man, this guy really is that good. Okay. Now he's my second favorite quarterback, but I was like, geez, man, like he really is that good. And I've come to really, like Tom and have a lot of, respect for his craft. But there was a long time I didn't like Tom Brady. Okay. And, made no apologies about that. But I came around to like him. So my question is, before we go any further, if people didn't mess with Hogan, or maybe they did mess with him, or they felt like he did or said certain things over the years, would people be justified to kind of stand on that? Is my question. Because, being a African American, yeah, it was very disappointing to hear that audio tape leak when he was using the N word, talking about Brooke and all of that, talking about, a black guy possibly dating her. It was disappointing hearing some of the stuff that when Nick, had the situation with his friend and some of the stuff that he said. Yeah, it was very disappointing, right? Um, but we all make mistakes in life. And I think for the most part, we kind of looked over it a little bit. Probably we shouldn't have, but he did apologize. So, okay. Now I went to his store when I went on vacation about 4 or 5 years ago because he has a store in Clearwater and he has another one in Orlando. Now, again, like I say, I wasn't the biggest Hogan fan as a wrestler or the Hulkamania thing, but I went to the store and I bought some Ultimate Warrior socks. I bought a Randy Savage t-shirt, took a picture in front of Hogan and all of that. But yeah, I mean, but it is a little deflating, as a kid to, look up to, and this isn't even only about Hogan, just a lot of these guys in the business that you looked up to them and then you find out certain things about them that's kind of disappointing, right? Sometimes it's like an old saying, it's good not to meet your to meet your heroes. So I'm asking the question, people who have issues with Hogan, are they justified to feel that way even in light of his passing, right? And the reason I'm asking this question again, because I am an Ultimate Warrior fan, and Ultimate Warrior had some very strong accusations to say about, Hogan's treatment of Randy, Linda, and Hogan's treatment of Brooke. So I'm just asking the question to wrestling fans: how do you guys feel about all of that if you are a wrestling fan? All right, let's get into a little bit about what happened to Hogan in his passing, and then we'll come back around to some of the commentary.
Now to some sad breaking news. Wrestling legend Hulk Hogan has died at the age of 71. Clearwater, Florida officials tell CNN emergency personnel responded to a medical call at 9:51 a.m. related to cardiac arrest. CNN's Andy Scholes joins me now. Andy, what are you hearing?
Manu, I mean, it's just the sports world mourning the loss of Hulk Hogan. He was just, he was a cultural icon. No one put wrestling on the map more than Hulk Hogan did in the 1980s. When he slammed Andre the Giant, I mean, that was just a moment that really propelled wrestling into the mainstream. And, I grew up, I was a Hulkamaniac as a kid. When his song Real American hit, it would just give you chills when he would come out to the ring, and he was just such a performer and what a speaker he was.
And look, for him to live to be 71, man, a lot of these guys, British Bulldog, Ultimate Warrior, I think Ultimate Warrior was like 54, but a lot of wrestlers are not here anymore. I mean, a lot of the wrestlers that I looked up to been gone. I mean, Texas Tornado and British Bulldog. It's so many I could name that have, they're not here anymore. Some guys, not all, but some of these guys has been, related to steroid use and stuff like that. So technically, to be honest with you, to live to be 71 in that business is a really long time. Now, I tell this quick story. I went to Hulk Hogan's store and I was in a lot of pain, a whole lot of pain, because I was dealing with sciatica issues for a long time. And the manager of the store, I guess he could see I was in pain. He asked me, was I okay? And I told him, what I was dealing with. And I told him I had like back surgery coming up. He told me that Hulk Hogan had 12 back surgeries. I was like, 12? Good grief. Like, how do he, obviously the slamming and all that stuff, but his finishing move, where he would do that leg kick, and imagine landing on your behind like that. And Hulk Hogan at one point was like upwards of 300 pounds of like pure muscle. And you're landing and, these guys going to this arena, that arena each and every night. And just over years, it just took its toll. And so his body just kind of started to break down on him,
all the things he used to say, what you gonna do when Hulkamania runs wild on you, or when he was doing an interview with Mean Gene Okerlund and he said, let me tell you something, brother. I mean, it's just the things he did, that just resonated, for decades to come. And, he was such a powerful speaker. Like I said, Manu, I worked in Dallas. He once came on my sports show back in the day called Inside Sports. And we had, Hulk, can you rip off a promo for us? And he immediately, just like that, Manu, just like that, was able to rip off a 20-second promo. No questions. But, the sports world and the WWE, everyone putting out a statement just of how sad of a moment this is. The WWE said, saddened to learn that Hall of Famer Hulk Hogan has passed away. He's one of pop culture's most recognizable figures. Hogan helped WWE achieve global recognition in the 80s. The WWE extends its condolences to Hogan's family, friends, and fans. And then Ric Flair, who was an icon right alongside Hogan through the decades wrestling, he said, I'm absolutely shocked to hear about the passing of my close friend Hulk Hogan. Hulk has been by my side since we started in the wrestling business, an incredible athlete, talent, friend, and father. Our friendship has meant the world to me. He was always there for me when I didn't ask for him to be. And he went on to share some stories of the Hulkster. But Manu, big part of my childhood. I know everyone's got a Hulk Hogan moment they remember. And he's just an icon, and it's sad that he's now not with us, leaving us at the age of 71.
Yeah, there was nobody like Hulk Hogan. What a figure he was in society and wrestling and the like, and he'll be remembered by people, both not just in the sports world, but in the political world as well, which we're going to talk about here at the table. Andy Scholes, thank you so much for that. And we're back here around the table. Hulk, of course, was a big supporter of President Trump's. None of us can forget this memorable speech from the 2024 Republican convention.
All right. So I want to go to another video. Let's go to another video. Let me drag all my videos over real quick. All right, cool. All right, we'll line up the next one. Here we go.
Rescue. Just before 10 a.m. today, Clearwater Fire and Rescue, along with the Clearwater Police Department, responded to a house in the 1000 block of El Dorado Avenue for a medical-related call. It was discovered at that time Terry Bollea, also known as Hulk Hogan, was experiencing a serious medical-related issue. Personnel provided medical treatment at that time and transported Mr. Bollea to Morton Plant Hospital, where he died at 11:17 a.m. The Clearwater Police Department is conducting a death investigation, which is standard in these types of cases. There are no signs of foul play or suspicious activity related to this call for service at this time. Our personnel is providing the family with the necessary resources.
You know what's wild? There was a TikToker, and he was talking about Hulk Hogan maybe 2 weeks ago, that it didn't look good, that he had some issue going on or whatever. And I mean, I heard the video, but I didn't, it's always death rumors out about people and fake news about people's passing and they didn't pass. So I watched the video, but I didn't really didn't know anything, up close and personal about it or whatever. And man, here we are a couple weeks later, Hulk is gone. And what's interesting, the old saying, it happens in threes. So you had Malcolm Jamal Warner pass away, then you had Ozzy Osbourne pass away, and then bam, here we are, Hulk Hogan. And this is just what, Thursday? So who knows what's going to happen before the week is out.
I'm strongly encouraging everyone to keep the family in their thoughts and respect their privacy during this difficult time. We will not be answering any questions, but we will provide additional information when it becomes available. Any public records request should be filed through our public records section with the Clearwater Police Department. No records will be released today. Our thoughts are with the family, and again, we ask everyone to respect their privacy during this difficult time. Thank you.
Let's get back to what we were talking about when we first started. What? Excuse me, guys. I got to take a quick call. Give me 1 second, please. One second, guys. I'm sorry.
After everything I've been through, I want to knock somebody out.
Wrestling icon Hulk Hogan has died. Medics were called to his Florida home Thursday after someone reported a cardiac arrest. He was 71 years old.
Just give me a couple words to describe where you are today in your life.
Centered, joyful, very forgiving.
Born Terry Gene Bollea, Hulk Hogan adopted his stage persona in the late 70s.
After everything I've been through, I want to knock somebody out.
Wrestling icon Hulk Hogan has died. Medics were called to his Florida home Thursday after someone reported a cardiac arrest. He was 71 years old.
Just give me a couple words to describe where you are today in your life.
Centered, joyful, very forgiving.
Born Terry Gene Bollea, Hulk Hogan adopted his stage persona in the late 70s when he joined the World Wrestling Federation.
Hulkamania will live forever, man.
He soared to superstardom in the 80s as he took on endorsement deals.
I'm one of the first wrestlers to cross that media barrier in the commercials and different types of television.
And transitioned to acting.
I body slammed the whole world of Hollywood.
Cut to the early 2000s, and Hulk was a TV star thanks to his family's reality show.
If this crap was your idea, you're in a lot of trouble.
It was your idea.
Don't even go there.
He and wife Linda split in 2008 following infidelity on Hulk's part. His later years marked somewhat by controversy, from a racism scandal to a sex tape and a pivot into politics.
And they tried to kill the next president of the United States. Enough was enough. And I said, let Trumpamania run wild, brother.
He's survived by his third wife, Sky Daly, and kids, daughter Brooke and son Nick.
To my fans, thank you for being with me, for riding the highs and surviving the lows. Their loyalty is unwavering. They just know who I am, and they actually know I'm a human being.
All right,
What if you
we
could
are
create your
back.
own website by saying, this is what I want?
All right. Sorry about that. I had a very important call I had to take. So, yeah, I mean, like I say, yeah, of course, he's a human being. Of course, people make mistakes. And even podcasting, right? A lot of podcasters talk a lot of stuff and then they get caught up in things, right? So yeah, I mean, you talk about someone's legacy, it's very complex. It's not always the highs. Of course, there are a lot of lows involved in that. I didn't like the comment he made over the whole thing with the black guy dating Brooke. That was just kind of hard to get over, man. I'll be honest with you. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. This is a video of that particular interview from several years ago. I think this may have been like 7 years ago or something like that.
No matter what you think about Hulk Hogan, controversial athlete and actor, headline-making reality TV star, the guy was a game changer in the world of professional wrestling. But tonight, in the midst of a racial slur scandal, he's fighting to repair his legacy, opening up exclusively to ABC's Amy Robach about the fallout and the path to forgiveness.
Hulk Hogan's here! Hulk Hogan is in the building!
With his signature leg drop, horseshoe mustache, and unrivaled strength, 12-time world champion Hulk Hogan single-handedly transformed wrestling into a global phenomenon.
Unbelievable!
Today, he's fighting outside of the ring to maintain his legacy.
Could we stop for a second?
Terry Bollea, the man behind the once indestructible Hulkster, letting his guard down.
Out of everything that I've been through, this one hit me probably the hardest. And that's a heck of a thing to say, because I've been through a lot of crazy stuff.
Including an admission of steroid use and his son's legal issues. But last month, a new controversy which threatens to erase his legacy. The National Enquirer reports that Hogan used racial slurs in audio secretly recorded.
I was at the lowest point of my life. My personal life was destroyed. I was very mad at my daughter. I was upset over a situation that happened between her and her boyfriend, and I had no idea I was being taped. I was to the point where I wanted to kill myself. I sat in my bathroom by myself when my ex-wife was gone and the kids were gone, and I was completely broken and destroyed. And I said, what's the easiest way out of this? I mean, I was lost.
You were suicidal.
Yes, I was.
Father's Day card for Brooke?
A stark contrast from the Hulk, whose upbeat and tight-knit family was portrayed over 4 seasons of the reality show Hogan Knows Best, where he was overprotective of his only daughter, Brooke.
I mean, I'm almost 18 and I haven't even had a boyfriend yet.
Well, that's good. That's what I wanted.
But according to the National Enquirer, he refers to his daughter's then boyfriend using the N-word.
Do you have any personal preference who ethnically your daughter dates?
No, I don't. Actually, the guy my daughter was dating, I liked him a lot. I've known him for quite a while. And I was very mad at a personal situation that happened with my daughter.
Are you a racist?
No, I'm not. I'm not a racist. I never should have said what I said. It was wrong. I'm embarrassed by it. But a lot of people need to realize that you inherit things from your environment. And where I grew up was South Tampa, Port Tampa, and it was a really rough neighborhood, very low income. And all my friends, we greeted each other saying that word. We teased each other with that word. The word was just thrown around like it was nothing.
Is it fair to say that you inherited a racial bias?
I would say that is very fair, but you can break the cycle. And that's what everybody needs to know. You can break this cycle and become a better person, become who you're meant to be instead of who you're supposed to be.
Following these allegations, the WWE fired Bollea. The legendary career he spent a lifetime building wiped out.
I was totally shocked because I've worked with the WWE for almost 30 years off and on, and then all of a sudden, everything I've done, my whole career, my whole life, was like it never happened.
Your image, your likeness, your name erased.
Yeah, like I'd never existed.
That had to hurt.
Oh my gosh, it was devastating. It destroyed me. I mean, I don't know how to say it other than that. It was my whole life.
Many industry bigwigs have come to his defense. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson states, "I've known Terry for a lot of years. I had not known the man to be racist." George Foreman says, "I do not condone the language he used, but he is no racist. He is a good guy." Even Hogan's daughter, Brooke, chimes in.
Your daughter posted a beautiful poem on Facebook. If you knew the dad I knew, you'd know he raised me well. He taught me folks are so much more than shades could ever tell.
Yeah. And if anybody should have disowned me, it should have been her. You know, she should have been the one.
I mean, look, nobody's I mean, look, it was wrong, of course, right? So it's not like that's something that yeah, I mean, here's the thing though. Okay, he made this mistake, right? So we forgive him and he moves on. But there was a situation that happened recently with his maybe some alcohol or some brand thing that he had, and there was a female who alleged that she was fired, or they told her the event was canceled, and then it was something on a boat. They said it was canceled, but then it wasn't canceled, and then she wasn't allowed because she was African American, and then she was replaced by some white female. So, you know, it's still that kind of, okay, you say that's over, you make this mistake, but why did this happen? This like questions that people kind of had. And I'm still curious to know, because I don't watch wrestling anymore. I watched it religiously as a child, but when a lot of the wrestlers I like started dying, I'm not really in the loop with it anymore. So when he got booed a couple months ago, I didn't know, was it because he showed up to the Trump thing? Was it because of this? Like, why was he booed a couple months ago? If you're a wrestling fan, put that in the comment section, because I have no idea. I just heard about it and I saw the video that he was like booed pretty brutally when he showed up to an event not too long ago.
She should have been the one to throw me out like the trash, but instead she showed me more love than anybody.
What did Brooke say to you?
Well, could we stop for a second? All right. Okay.
How has Brooke helped you through this?
She's been so supportive. She was the direction of my attack. You know, I was not so mad at her boyfriend. I was mad at her, you know, and she she instantly said, I don't even need to forgive you because I'm not mad at you. I love you. You're my dad.
For fans who feel let down by you,
Mm-hmm.
do you ask their forgiveness?
Oh my gosh, please forgive me. Please forgive me. I'm a nice guy. It's not, not the Hulk Hogan that rips the shirt off and bang, 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 slams giants.
The Hulk, whose worth is estimated to be between $8 and $15 million, is currently embattled in a landmark $100 million lawsuit against Gawker after they posted a 2-minute graphic excerpt of an unauthorized sex tape. The Hulk's lawyer speaking out on his client's behalf about the lawsuit.
This has everything to do with the invasion of privacy of a private citizen for no good cause other than for them to make money.
I remember seeing this lawyer. I remember seeing his face quite a bit.
Gawker maintains the tape is newsworthy given Hogan talks so often about his sex life. For now, the man once known for his superhuman strength is relying on his inner power, wrestling with turning this negative into a positive.
Just because a person makes a mistake, just don't throw them away. You don't throw good people away. If everybody at their lowest point was judged on one thing they said, and all of a sudden your whole career was wiped out today because of something you said 10 or 20 years ago, it'd be a sad world. People get better every day. People get better.
For Nightline, I'm Amy Robach in New York.
So, again, this is a part, because again, it's easy to focus on the highs, but we got to remember that anybody, I don't care who you are, there's going to be some low points, right? People are going to say certain things and that's just a part of your journey. I'm not getting into the personal stuff. I know Linda, his ex-wife, has had some hard things to say recently. What are your favorite matches of Hulk Hogan's? For me, I mean, obviously when he slammed Andre that was crazy. I love the one obviously against him in the Ultimate Warrior. Yeah, him and Ultimate Warrior, they have that one too. Like they did like a rematch like 10 years later in WWE. I'm sorry, WCW. It was awful. That wasn't a good one at all. But yeah, what are your favorite matches of Hulk Hogan's? I remember him, Big Boss Man. He had a good one against the NWO stuff. That was pretty cool. Kind of seeing him as like the heel for once, and the beard was kind of dirty looking, and he wasn't doing the whole Hulkamania thing. I thought the NWO stuff was pretty cool. Him with Scott Hall and Kevin Nash. I kind of like that. Kind of like the dirty version of Hulk Hogan, and him kind of being the bad guy for once. I thought that was pretty epic, within his career. But in the comment section, let me know your favorite Hulk Hogan matches. But for me, definitely remembering the match with him and Andre, I think would probably be like the highest for me. And I love the one with Ultimate Warrior. Now, obviously, when Ultimate Warrior lost, Hogan got the belt back by beating Sergeant Slaughter. But I remember, Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, SummerSlam, all that stuff was epic growing up. What's the other one? King of the Ring, a lot of great events that they used to have back in the day. A lot of memories with Shawn Michaels and Undertaker. Like I say, WWF as a kid, for me, that was everything, man. I loved wrestling back in the day, man. But what do you think Hogan's legacy will be? Even though he may have took some hits over the years or whatever, but what do you think people will remember him by the most? What match or what matches you think stand out the most? Definitely let me know in the comment section. I never had a chance to meet him. Like I said, I did go to a store several times. I went to the one in Clearwater, I think only one time, but I've gone to the one in Orlando like 4 or 5 times. So yeah, once you step foot in there, it brings back like all those memories, and they have all all the merch in there. You can take pictures. They got the belts in there. They got the boots, a lot of his costumes, a lot of his outfits and stuff like that. It's epic, man. So even though I was disappointed by some things that transpired with him later on, but definitely the guy has a impeccable legacy. Definitely the face of wrestling. With me being a huge Rocky fan, I'm always going to remember him being a part of Rocky 3. He's made a couple other movies and stuff like that. Yeah, and that's one thing he was groundbreaking for, was like the movies, right? So you see the stuff that Dwayne The Rock is doing, and Stone Cold, and other wrestlers who have expanded their brands. Hulk kind of started that stuff. Even Bret Hart, I think, did like a movie or two. But yeah, I mean, but Hulk Hogan definitely, pioneered that. And I mean, I just, as a wrestling fan, I still watch a lot of these videos when wrestlers tell their side of the story, or what happened here or what happened there. And so he's definitely has a controversial legacy, I would put it that way. But obviously he was the face of it, so maybe some of the treatment he got may have rubbed certain wrestlers a certain way or whatever. But think about this: if we were a part of a movie with, let's just say, Russell Crowe, and I'm a part of it. Maybe I have like a one-liner, or I have like a little quick scene or whatever. Obviously, Russell is going to get treated a lot better than I do, because he's the star of the movie, right? He's the one putting butts in the seats. He's the one that's responsible for the budget and things of that nature. Now, a lot of actors, they still make sure that the cast, and they make sure the extras get treated, with respect and stuff like that. Tom Cruise a lot of times may buy something for the crew members or whatever. Like quarterbacks, right? A lot of times they buy their offensive line guys gifts and something like that, because they're the ones that are, is protecting them throughout the season. So you may not even know who the center is. You may not know who some of the linemen are a lot of times, but they're the ones that are protecting the quarterback. So I get it with Hogan being the face of wrestling, and maybe certain wrestlers felt a certain way about how he got treated in comparison to them. I can understand how some feelings may have got rubbed the wrong way. Maybe he, all these people at times are in their ego and may have said certain things or whatever. But as we get older, a lot of that stuff, hopefully people can mature over time. I do know he apologized to the Ultimate Warrior. I'm sure maybe some other wrestlers he's offended over the years, he's apologized to them. I'm not sure how I know his relationship, I would assume, with Brooke and Nick is still intact. And I don't know where him and Linda, how that stuff kind of finished off. I remember looking at a video a few weeks ago of some things that she had to say. But I think for everyone, good or bad, this, your legacy is just going to have these spots on it. And hopefully it's more good than bad, throughout your life, that you try to leave like a, lasting impact on the lives that you touch over the years. But you can't think of wrestling without thinking about Hulk Hogan, no matter how you slice it. So may he rest in peace. My name is Terrance, but a lot of people in my family call me Terry. I know that was his first name. So rest in peace to Terry, man. He will definitely not be forgotten. And I know there'll be a lot of videos and a lot more people talking about his legacy. So again, may he rest in peace. And I didn't try to come off to be disrespectful in light of his passing, but we do have to talk about it. This is a part of his life. These things happen, right? And there's other players that I like. Growing up, I was a huge Brett Favre fan, and he's kind of reached some controversial things over the years or whatever. So it's a part of people's lives, the longer you live, especially you in the spotlight, 9 times out of 10, this is, what's going to happen. Look at Aaron Rodgers, a lot of the, talks about him or whatever. This just happens, the longer you live. You don't even have to be famous. You can just be a regular Joe. And 9 times out of 10, not everybody has something good to say about you. And if everybody likes you, you're doing something wrong anyway. All right, before we get out of here, those who want to follow me on the social media sites, you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, X, formerly known as Twitter, and TikTok, all at I'm in the Hills. Check out both of my websites. The first one is WrestleMania.com. That's with 2 E's. That stands for Epic Elevate the Vision. And also www.terrancehill.com as well. Check out both of my websites. If you're watching us on YouTube, you can support us with a super chat. You can also donate via Cash App or Venmo at I'm in the Hills. Definitely support us. I would love to connect with you again on all social media platforms. Really appreciate you guys for tuning in again to this particular edition. Hate to cover this on these terms, man, because 71 is technically still kind of young, but in wrestling terms, man, it's really kind of ancient, because a lot of wrestlers that I looked up to and loved, a lot of these guys died in their 40s, some in their early 50s. So, yeah, I mean, it's brutal. A lot of wear and tear on the body. I'm not sure how old is Bret Hart now? How old is he? I know Bret had a stroke, but he seems to be doing well now. Obviously, with him losing Owen, I mean, the business is tough, man. Wrestling is definitely a tough business, and these guys go out on the road, sacrifice their bodies, and yeah, it's scripted, but still stuff does happen and injuries do occur, and they definitely put their bodies on the line for the, to put on a show for the fans. So I would definitely never forget Hulk Hogan. And may he rest in peace, man. Prayers go out to his family. I know from what I hear, that he's coming to a relationship with the Lord over the years. So, I'm happy to hear that. But again, prayers to his family. All right, but drop in the comment section your favorite memories and your favorite matches of Hulk Hogan's. Like I said for me, it was the one against Andre. And second would definitely be the first one against the Ultimate Warrior. We're gonna burn that second one. That was garbage. But I definitely love this time in the NWO. I thought that was fire. All right. Let me know where you're watching us at as well. Those who want to donate to our efforts, the Cash App and Venmo are both I'm in the Hills. Support us. Support this platform to keep doing what we're doing. Check out some other videos. Also, check out the product section where you can order some merch and support us that way as well. And tomorrow is New Music Fridays. I've been listening to a bunch of albums this week, and I can't wait to give some reviews to those albums. And I also can't wait for another episode of New Music Fridays. So the way we got to do this, because YouTube is very sensitive with the copyright strikes. So I will do a quick recap on YouTube, but the full episode is going to be on Twitch and Facebook. And I'll be sure in that recap episode to drop the link where you guys can watch the entire episode. I'm also in process of starting a Patreon as well. For those who want to, hook up with the Patreon, you can watch the countdown on the Patreon as well. All right, New Music Fridays tomorrow. Definitely tune in for that. And some new albums are going to drop, because 40 albums drop a week. I love music, man, but it's definitely a full-time job trying to keep up with it. All right, really appreciate you guys for tuning in again. Rest in peace to the legend Hulk Hogan. He'll never be forgotten. Hope you guys have a great day. Appreciate you rocking with me. Take care. I'm out. I'm so high with no edibles. You ask how does it feel? It's incredible. And now I'm standing on my pedestal. Y'all got no morals, y'all unethical. I'm so high with no edibles. You ask how does it feel? It's incredible.
and now I'm standing on my pedestal. Y'all got no morals, y'all unethical. I got a baby face, call it